We're going to be starting soon, but just a few minutes late. Commissioner York just now got off his place of employment. They had something today they were doing, and he thought he wasn't going to be able to make it at all, but he's let me know he will be here. So I'd like to give him the courtesy of waiting just a few more minutes because he's already said he's on his way. Okay?
I'm doing good.
Good evening. We will call our meeting to order, and we want to welcome everybody here this evening. We will start out by having our city clerk, Melissa, take roll call.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Swindell.
Here.
Vice Mayor York.
Here.
Commissioner Maples.
Here.
Mayor Van Oster.
Here. Thank you. Next, we will have our invocation, and this evening we have Pastor Eves from the First United Methodist Church. So we are glad to have you here this evening, Pastor, and appreciate your invocation for us tonight.
Yes, we are so glad to be here. Thank you so much. First, I want to thank you, thank the City Commission and City Council, the city leadership, for giving us this opportunity. I am Yves Kinangwa and pastor at First United Methodist Church and Edna United Methodist Church. So let me give you a few instructions for our prayer today. It's a liturgical prayer I've prepared for you, and I have printed it on both sides. So my wife is going to give you a copy of the prayer. Let's do this. On the right side of the room, you are going to be the response number 1. So you are R1.
Okay?
And on the left side of the room, you're going to be the response number 2. So you are R2. So you are. So maybe yes.
I'm going to
Yes.
go over here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. And you may choose where you want to go.
Yeah,
but
I can go back
also-
and forth. if I
Yes.
like. Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to lead you in the prayer.
Okay.
All right, let's pray. O Christ, who supplies our every need, I praise you for all these folks you have chosen to work with for this community. We are grateful, Lord,
for
you
you have provided for this work.
In this season of life for our community, we give thanks. With your help, may we meet our needs and contribute to the needs of others, Lord.
Let us work and serve in all our positions with mindfulness, creativity, and kindness.
Loving you well by loving all whom we encounter here and beyond.
Come in our midst as mediator between us and our employer, between us and our supervisors and co-workers, and in all our dealings with others in this work.
Reminding us that our treatment of them is the strongest evidence of our affection for you. Therefore, give us the patience to listen to others, the humility to learn from them, the compassion to consider their needs as our own, and the grace to wear well in this place the name of our Lord.
Remembering that regardless of our belief and background, we arrive here each day as ambassadors of your goodwill.
Let us be assets to our community, working for its flourishing without resentment. Help each of us be a support to their peers.
Contributing to the advancement without jealousy. Let us be an encouragement to any we train or lead, affirming and equipping them without disdain.
Lord, may the days of our work here in this beautiful city of Coffeyville be meaningful for everyone.
Use this chapter of our life to accomplish your ends, whatever they may be.
May our presence here daily suggest your presence of transformation, because you have a promise for people in this city.
And may the power of your love be always evident in this work, that our service as public servants might be perceived as service first rendered unto you.
And in the strong name of Jesus Christ we pray, and all God's children say,
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again,
Thank you.
Pastor Eves. That was very different, and I like it. I think last time you came, you did something a little different for us too, and we very much appreciate that. And the words that were in here were so good.
We are so thankful to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thankful for you in our community very much. Okay, now we will have a short review of our agenda. I do move to amend the agenda to add an executive session at the end.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor York, to amend the agenda to add an executive session. Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay. We will now move on to the consent agenda, which consists of 2 items: the City Commission meeting minutes from Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, and our 2023 appropriation ordinance number AO-23-21 in the amount of $974,852.74. Anybody have anything on the meeting minutes to change? Okay. Usually at this time for the appropriation ordinance, Vice Mayor York has some things to bring out that are on there, just so that it lets everybody know the different items that occur each time that we pay.
And we'd like to just kind of highlight some of the bigger ticket items. American Bakers Insurance, this is flood insurance, $13,600. Ashland Tree Experts, so they do all the tree trimming for our power lines, $20,158.60. Atmos Energy, $42,677. Backyard Discovery, this is part of the Sycamore Playground, I'm assuming, correct, Mark? For $13,494. That was for a gazebo. Gray Bar Electric, this is for supplies for the power plant, $11,440. Hample Oil Distributors is aviation fuel, $34,619. High Potential Power Services, again for the power plant, $16,440. Jeff Garum Construction, this was for some roof repairs, $50,833. KMGA Gas Supply Operating Fund, $239,152. Meriton Health for Health Life Premiums, $39,869. Olson Associates, this is for Transformer Bidding Service, $20,000. Playground Boss, again I'm assuming for Sycamore, is that correct? Yes. $13,455. Stannion Wholesale Electric Light Poles, $14,880. And then our payroll for October 29, $370,218.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, Vice Mayor York. Does anybody else have anything to bring out on the appropriation ordinance? And as I've said in the past, I want to remind everybody that some of those companies that we are paying to are people that we have contracts with, and we don't pay all up front at first. And just as we buy chemicals or supplies or whatever that we've signed a quote with them at the beginning of the year, then when we get the supplies or need whatever, they're billed out at a time. So that's why you hear so many different ones a lot of times on what he reads. So unless there's any other questions, I will move to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Jones to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
And Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Okay. We will now move on to comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized. Please advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. Do we have anybody here this evening?
Mayor, Commissioners, Jim Faulkner, 1014 West 3rd. For the benefit of our audience who may be listening or watching online, if you would bear with me, I have here tomorrow's Coffeyville Journal, and on the front page headlines, City of Coffeyville heading to Washington, D.C. to discuss housing and the levy. In just a few weeks, Coffeyville City Commissioners and staff will be meeting with lawmakers such as Senators Jerry Moran, Roger Marshall, and Congressman Jake LaTurner. They will be meeting in Washington, D.C. on December 4th and will be discussing issues that Coffeyville faces, such as housing shortage, poverty, and threat of flooding. So first of all, which commissioners and what city staff will be going on this trip?
I was going to say
I'll be going.
I'm going.
Deborah, Jason, Thomas, Charla, and myself.
Okay, so Charlotte will be going. So which of the commissioners again?
Myself.
Okay, so two of the commission, okay, so all of the information that you obtained during these meetings, will that be brought back and shared with the new
course.
commission?
Why
Of
wouldn't
course
we?
it will. Yeah, it will be.
Okay, because there was some concern expressed that of the 6 in this room, 3 will not be in attendance when we reconvene in January.
Could
Okay.
I go ahead and address that?
Please.
Sure, please do.
And the Journal was here yesterday. This has been a 2-year project. It is one of those that the dignitaries were in the room. We had FEMA, we had the Army Corps of Engineers, we had representatives from both senators and congressmen. We had stakeholders from CVR. It is one of those, I know you're probably doing a feature article on that, but this is a need that has not been addressed before, and it is one of those that we are seeking financial assistance that will be in tens of millions of dollars to remedy the levy situation. As we started, the office of the senators and congressmen were notified that our intent is of support to taking this, that Coffey needs this as representatives of Coffeyville. It is one of those that this has been in progress for a long time, and it is one of those, as you heard in the meeting, all have offered to assist us in Washington, D.C. with FEMA and those meetings with other offices. So this has been a long project. It is one of those, it is at the point that we need to start representation. It will be probably continued by the commission for the next several years until we obtain that funding. So future commissions will have the opportunity to go and make this trip in the future. It's not a one-time deal until we get the funding that's necessary. What was pointed out in the meeting is we were roughly 6 inches from overtopping in 19. We do feel, and it is the risk that we face, that it will overtop again. So with that, the city had to do something to address the levy since nothing had been done since 2007 to address the height of the levee or the soundness of the levee. So that's what's been going on for 2 years. Those meetings have been held. We have people from all over the state. At this meeting, comment is the governor and lieutenant governor are going to be brought in with this, I guess you want to say, proposal to FEMA in Washington. There is other agencies within the state that are going to be utilized for funding. So this is not a one-time deal. This is a future deal that will be made by commissions, but this is the start of those visits to Washington, D.C. So next year, at roughly about this time, the commission will make that travel to Washington, D.C. to seek and obtain funding for our levy. So I
believe
hope
we
that
also
answered
have-
your question. This is not a one-time deal.
All right.
I believe we
And-
also have some reps from the county going as well, is that correct? Or-
Yes, is county, Montgomery County expressed interest. I haven't heard from them, but it is one of those, after their attendance in the meeting, it was one of those that they did not realize how big this has gone, not only federal and state, but it is one of those, we have outside agencies offering assistance, and like I said, is at first it started off repairing and securing the levee, and now there is discussion of raising a levee. That is considerable more cost, but it is Coffeyville, and we had to, our situation explained to them. We do have a very high, if not the highest poverty rate in the state of Kansas. It is one of those lack of investment economically. We had to show that. Roughly there was 70 or so businesses in the flood, only 35 returned. What has been is if this is not rated, or if we do not get the levee rated, there very well could be at some point where flood insurance is required for the east side. So it is one of those, starting this and looking for that if that should overtop, you can imagine that the investment on the east side was what you see today. It's very minimal. Homes didn't go back. It is one of those that we hope to prevent that from happening again. What has been brought up is that the 2007 flood was after a drought. And as you're aware, we're in a drought. So it is increasing the risk, but it has to be addressed. So that's what this is about, and future commissions. This is not a one-time deal. This is a long process to obtain millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars from the federal government. So the next commission will go, and then they will go again the next year until this is secured for the future of Coffeyville. I hope that explained it.
All right, it does. Thank you. Could you address the comment about housing shortage?
As you're aware,
Who will staff be meeting with for that?
that'll be HUD and with USDA, and that will be Charlie, our Director of Housing.
Okay, all right, thank you. And the issue of poverty, that's a very broad general topic, but how will that be addressed?
Well, the situation is in addressing levy is this town has, if not the highest poverty rate in the state of Kansas. With that is financially, we can't come up with $1 million of funding for that. It is one of those that the USDA is prime focus is to address urban, and it is one of those that rural, and that's for business and for low income. We do have a program, the 523 self-help program, that is designed for lower income, and that builds 10 homes per year. If you're looking at is history, according to our building permits, is for 11 years there was not a house built in Coffeyville, and that's a fact. And that is so. With the start of the housing department, it is one of those. We do have 7 that are being built, and there will be 7 more additionally. We are looking at forward for the USDA program of kicking off, and that will build 10 more homes per year. That goes till we are a population, and why we're talking to USDA is that is available to the city until they reach a population of 20,000 people. So that program, in theory, could last for decades. HUD is primary, is focus is CDBG, which that is through HUD, through the state, but his primary focus is on affordable housing. There is through HUD is the low-income tax credit program. That is available, and that's what we're seeking. We are currently not in a housing authority in Coffeyville. We wish to be, and that's what we seek help from not only the senators, but the congressmen, but also from HUD in Washington, D.C. We do have a definite need. The CVR expansion removed 90 income-based apartments. So they're gone. 90 of those apartments that were income-based are gone. That put a definite need in the future of Coffeyville to address the poverty issue. So it is one of those, through the low-income tax credit program, through the federal government, that's how you build income-based housing. So that is why we are addressing the housing situation. That's why we're addressing the levy situation. Two of those agencies, HUD and USDA, work in tandem with each other, but its primary focus is on housing, one more so on affordable housing. So I hope that answered your question.
It does. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Anybody else here this evening? Okay, if not, we will move on to our regular agenda items. First, we have a public hearing, special presentations, and proclamations. We do have a public hearing tonight. Our public hearing on the First Amendment to the Neighborhood Revitalization Plan. Our Director of Public Works, Mr. Thomas Osborne, will make comments about this.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Mayor Commissioners. First meeting in October, we met to announce our intent for this amendment to the Neighborhood Revitalization Program. That has since been posted in the paper for 2 consecutive weeks as required by the state to move this process forward. Just a brief overview of what neighborhood revitalization is and what we're wanting to amend. So the neighborhood revitalization is a tax rebate program, which means you pay your taxes in, you get a check back. The proceeds or the rebate is based off of any increased value of a project. So if there is a minimum, so you have to have at least a 5% increase on the property value to qualify for this program. But if you raise your property tax by 10%, you get 10% back for up to 10 years, and the rates varied based off of the location you are throughout the city. There are maps available in engineering that has all those numbers, but we do have 4 different areas plus the downtown area. So this amendment, we are actually looking to add a section of town into Area 1, and that section would be for the area west of Buckeye, kind of just north of the alleyway there behind Community State Bank, all the way up to 8th Street and over to Hall Street. And then the other part to this amendment is we're looking at downtown area to going from a step down rate, which over the 10 years to it's a 100% rebate for 10 years instead of the step down rate. These are both options as far as economic development that is a tool in our toolbox that we utilize whenever we're trying to draw in developers or potential businesses, anything like that, where they're looking to have to build or remodel or anything like that. So it's a great tool that we have available to us, and we're just wanting to just kind of improve it a little bit in a couple of areas. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions.
I don't really have a question. I just wanted to make a couple of comments towards the neighborhood revitalization. So in order to qualify, you must pay your taxes on time.
Yep.
If you're late, you get kicked out of the program.
That's it.
So
That's correct.
It really gives people incentive to stay on top of paying their property tax. Like you said, it is a rebate. It usually takes about 2 to 3 months after you pay your taxes to get your rebate back, and you have to pay the full amount before you get the rebate. So you can't pay half and get a rebate. You have to pay the full amount. So, yeah. I believe we made this transferable. Isn't that correct?
Yes, so if you sell your house, as long as
yeah.
you've kept up on the taxes, the
Right.
new owner can continue that rebate for the rest of
correct.
however many years are remaining.
And that is, would be a used tool. This is primary focus, like Thomas mentioned, is you do have a residential and you do have a commercial side. And this was bringing in the downtown to assist. Of course, depending on their situation, there's such things as, the RHID second story. There's also in our industrial revenue bond. So there's other forms, but this is, like I said, something in our toolbox. It is in a form, if somebody had to say, it is addressing, because usually you do not offer a rebate.
Right.
Or excuse me, an abatement. It is one of those that is usually for manufacturing and that. This does allow, this is in a form of a rebate. It's not a total, because you'll still get that increment. That initial increment you will pay,
Right.
but what you create above, that's what you will get a return on your rebate on your property taxes. So it's a great tool for especially businesses or buildings that want to be revitalized, and you can you can imagine the amount of investment that there would be. And this is saying what you're doing for 10 years, and it's been changed. Instead of a step down, it would be complete, which is allowable, 100%.
The other advantage to having a neighborhood revitalization is, in order to qualify, you have to file for all of your appropriate building permits, and
That's
you
correct.
have to meet code. So
Yep.
it helps ensure that those things get
One other
accomplished
note
as well.
just
So-
is that, and as we've kind of alluded it, but just to make it fully clear to everybody, is this does not affect the property taxes
That's
that
correct.
we take in right now. All it does is delay taking in the additional property taxes.
future taxes,
Till
yeah.
into the future.
Yep.
So it doesn't affect the current property tax base. that
You're not
is
taking
already-
anything off the books, it's on the books now.
That is
It's,
correct.
yeah.
Correct. And for anybody interested, I know on the city's website where we have posted tonight's packet, there is a map that shows the different areas
Yes.
that you've spoken about, and then before the map, it explains the different areas,
Yep.
and then what the percentages are, residential, commercial, even state, things that are listed on the state historical, too. Is that correct? I thought
Not sure on this, I think so that. I think what
properties
you-
listed on the national or state
Yeah,
historical.
everything qualifies, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's good. But it does list all that down there,
Yes.
Right.
downtown. So in case you're wondering, for anybody listening, go to that on the website and to that packet, and it explains it all.
And-
Got it
and of course-
outlined, great.
We're always available in engineering. Give us a call. We'd be glad to have any questions at all
Okay.
and help with that process. to get
And
that
currently, we have the project on Gibson is utilizing neighborhood
Absolutely.
revitalization
Yep.
in that area.
Right.
Right. Okay. All
It's a
right.
great program, and I highly encourage everybody to take advantage of it.
advantage.
'Cause It
right.
does save you some money.
It will. Does anybody else have any questions or any comments they want to make? Okay, we will now open the public hearing. I will now open the public hearing to receive comments regarding the First Amendment to the Neighborhood Revitalization Plan. So do we have any comments from anybody? Nope. Okay. I will now close the public hearing. And next on is I will read the resolution R-23-78, which is a resolution to adopt the First Amendment to the Neighborhood Revitalization Plan and execute said amendment. So I move to approve the resolution R-23-78 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve Resolution R-23-78 as presented. Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas, for all
Thank
your
you.
work on this.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
I will want to go ahead and just to let everybody know, so it's not, we do now, well, this will be sent to the school districts, the
Yes.
college, the county,
The other
for all their
tax
signatures
agencies.
and approval, and then it'll ultimately have to go to the Attorney General's office at the state.
Right.
So it's still going to be a while before these would get put in place, so.
Okay.
But we will get that process started and continued, and we will, I'll let you know once we get it back from the state that we have it adopted in its full effect, so.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
again,
Thank you,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Appreciate it. Okay, we will now move on to old business, which we have none. So moving on to new business. First item under our new business is Resolution R-23-79, which is a resolution to approve a lease agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration for the Coffeyville Municipal Airport. Our Director of Airport Services, Mr. Jared Powers, will make comments this evening.
Mayor and Commissioners,
Good evening.
this is a lease agreement between the FAA and Coffeyville Municipal Airport, non-monetary, for equipment and antennas for a weather station that they house in our building. We've had this for 30 years. This is just a new lease agreement. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay. And this takes us through September of 2043,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
This is the equipment you relocated?
Yeah, we relocated another part of the building where it's not accessible by the public and
Yep.
they can go in and out and service
And
it.
do their stuff.
Very good.
All right. Okay. Any further questions for Jared?
I have none there. If there are no other questions, I'll move to approve Resolution R-2379 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor York, seconded by Commissioner Swindell to approve Resolution R-23-79 as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
And Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on, we have Resolution R-2380, which is a resolution to approve an access agreement with Clean Harbors at the Coffeyville Municipal Airport. Once again, our Director of Airport Services, Mr. Jared Powers, will make comments on this.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a access agreement only for Clean Harbors to access inside the fence at the airport to monitor monitoring wells. They will check in with us before they go out there. This agreement, also the agreement before this has been looked over by Paul Kreitz and was accepted.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
And how long does this one go through?
There was no time on this one. I looked through it and
I think
it's just an access agreement. And
Okay.
So in order to stop it, you would have to pass another resolution saying you can't have access. So, yeah. All right. Very good.
Okay. All right. And there's also, in the packet, there was a map of that also that
Right.
shows that area. So anybody listening will know that that is part of it.
And it's pretty limited. It's not,
Yeah, it's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Any further questions?
none there.
Okay. If not, I will move to approve Resolution R-23-80 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Jones to approve Resolution R-23-80 as presented. Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Jared,
Thank
for
you,
everything.
Mayor and Commissioner, if I could have some more of your time.
Sure. Sure.
I'd like to share with you some data.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
We've had a lot of phone calls from business owners, citizens, wanting to know, do we really do anything at the airport? Is it viable? So I just wanted to give you some data from 2.5 years. So
Okay, go right ahead.
less than 2.5 years. Since we took over enplanements, and these enplanements, there's probably 10% that we can't keep data because we're not there after hours. But we've had 3,500 enplanements in 2.5 years. That's 94 a month. Hangar rental, $126,000. Oil lease, $88,000. We've sold 77,000 gallons of fuel, yielding $330,348. That is not profit. Our system will not calculate that, but there is a substantial profit to that. But I just wanted to share that data with you all so you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Well, not just that, but you've done a heck of a job out there, Jared.
And we hope to do
Anybody that's-
more. I mean, we're still.
Anybody that's gone out and
How
looked.
did
they-
your,
We've had a sunny weekend
Yeah.
every weekend except for that.
I know.
Yeah.
So, no airplanes other than one that flew in because he was having engine trouble, but
Yeah.
some people came out and thank you, Deborah, for coming out.
Yeah.
It was a good deal.
Well,
So
they-
we'll try to do it again and I'll try to be a better weatherman.
But everybody should go out there and see the airport. It looks
it looks
fantastic. And it's a great asset to the community, and I think it's something that we need to keep in the forefront of people's minds, that it's a really good asset to the community.
Question for you. Could you confirm or deny that there's been a rumor kind of floating around in the aviation community that the FAA is considering both shortening the length and narrowing our primary runway at the
So,
airport? Is that true or
At the
not?
last commission meeting, I came and asked to get a grant to fund the uneligible portion. FAA will not fund 100-foot wide. They will only fund 75-foot wide. So that's why we're asking KDOT to fund that other 25 feet so we can leave it 100 feet wide.
Okay, so it's not a matter of intentionally narrowing
It's
it, but there's no funding? Is that-
Well, they don't fund crosswind runways anymore. So our funding for our crosswind runway is done by KDOT because FAA does not fund them.
422.
Yes. The main runway is because of jet traffic. They don't deem us having enough large jet traffic for 100-foot wide. Most people don't have a 100-foot wide runway. So if we narrow it to 75 feet, then we're going to pay again to move the lights in, which we just got a grant on.
Moved and set, that's
So
right.
if we can get a KDOT grant to keep the 100-foot wide, we'd be money ahead.
How much jet traffic does the airport get?
I can break that down, but it's more than most people think. It's a lot for us, but it's not enough for FAA to deem it 100 foot.
Just a suggestion that you might provide that data to the group that's going to Washington and address that with Senator Moran. Because I believe he's still on the aviation subcommittee
Okay.
in transportation.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
Next, we have Resolution R-23-81, which is a resolution to authorize the purchase of a 2024 F-150 truck for the wastewater department. Our Director of Wastewater, Mr. Shane George, will make comments this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners.
Shane?
I'm here this evening asking for approval to purchase a 2024 Ford F-150 for $45,510 from Quality Motors of Independence. I sent out 3 price quotes, got 2 back. The third one, they said that the truck would not, it could very well change from $1,000 to $5,000 being delivered. So they wouldn't provide a price quote for that. This truck will be replacing a 2001 Chevy half-ton, which will be transferred to public service. Staff recommends authorization or authorize a resolution to purchase a 2024 F-150 4x4 Super Cab XL pickup from Quality Motors for $45,510. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
What's your estimated delivery time?
I have no idea.
Why did I know you were going to say that? Okay, but at least, yes, it's within your budget. It's in
Yep.
your budget for this.
Yeah, we
and then
budgeted, it's actually been in the budget
keep-
for about 4 years.
Yes,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
And and now and then you'll quote unquote recycle the old
Yep.
one to public service.
And it's only got 140,000 miles
Okay.
on it, so it's a lot of life left on that truck.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's how we have all kept working together and trying to get these things done.
Yep.
So, thank you. Anybody have any other questions for Shane?
I have none, Mayor.
Okay. If not, I'll move to approve Resolution R-23-81 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor York to approve Resolution R-23-81 as presented. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye. Thank you, Shane, on
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is Resolution R-23-82, which is a resolution to enter into an engineering services agreement with Olson for electrical engineering, substation maintenance, testing, and support services for the City of Coffeyville Electric Utility. Our Superintendent of Electric Distribution, Mr. Steve Pratt, will make comments. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Steve.
Mayor, Commissioners, unfortunately, we're having to go out for this bid. We've had a guy that's worked with us for years with engineering services, and he's taken another position, so we were kind of in a position to go out and look for other people. We had 7 proposals that were sent to us. Out of the 7, several of them were too far out of state to be able to be here in time frames that we were looked at. So with the help of Tony Lawson and JR, who's our high potential engineering service now, we kind of had to drift through these. So this started, the requests for proposals were issued July 19th of 23. And there's just a lot of stuff that you have to look through, all different kinds of prices. So we looked through it. We wanted to secure the service to provide this electrical engineering and the electric utility department employees the substation maintenance, testing, and engineering services for distribution, generation, and transmission. Olson is a company that we've worked with that has done engineering services for a project that we have going on right now with CRNF. They grouped together with another company that will be doing testing. I really believe that some of the things they offer will actually provide more of the things that we were needing. So what I'm here tonight is to get your permission to provide us with this service. We put a $150,000 yearly amount that they could not exceed. If you look through all their prices and they're different, there's, you know, you have engineers, you have staff of techs, you have all these people, and the prices were kind of all around. So with putting an amount like that, we will know where we'll stand in the next year. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
It's quite an in-depth scope of
Absolutely.
what they provided to you, what they're going to do, and so forth, and about them. And this is for 2 years, correct?
It's be a 3-year.
3 years, okay.
Yeah, JR's contract ends the 1st of January. So
Okay,
with this, we're hoping to get a hold of Olson. We did make contact with them. They were they're going to be sending us a master service agreement that will be sent back and be signed, and then hopefully we can get a meeting with them and JR to kind of go over all the records of testing. I mean, this is in a 3-year time, you have every substation is tested, every breaker is tested, all the underground is tested, relays are tested, and then you have special projects that when things break down or that we can call upon them for those services too. So they're kind of new with this, and the group that they're kind of combining with, I think, is a great combination of young, really smart, intelligent people that I think can help us out.
Yeah, their bios in here look pretty
Yep,
impressive.
that's what I read.
Yeah.
Pretty in-depth,
Yeah.
like I said.
And we do have experience with Olson as a city. We've used them for other engineering
Yes.
services. And
Yeah.
And you feel comfortable with them? And that
I do. I mean, every time we've contacted them, they've responded quickly. I mean, they've had to really put some major things together with this CRNF project
Okay.
in a short amount of time. It's going to be
Okay.
that will help too, because that whole process is going to be having to be done in a really short amount of time. And what meetings I've had with them and met with them, I've been really impressed
Because
with
the
their.
5 of us all know of them and have dealt, but you're the one that deals with that on a day-to-day. So as long as you feel that that's okay, I'm on board for that. So any other questions for Steve this evening?
Mayor, if there are no other questions, I'll move to approve Resolution R-2382 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor York, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve Resolution R-23-82 as presented. Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
And Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Thank you, Steve, very
Thank
much
you,
for all your
Steve.
work on that. Much appreciated. Okay, we will now move on to the city manager's report.
Mayor and Commissioners, I just want to start off, first of all, thanking staff. We are preparing for winter, and we've turned winter into some of our busiest time, simply because we want to keep ahead when it turns spring and summer. Everything's getting done, but the weather still hasn't turned cold, so we're actually doing more. But I want to thank all the departments. Everybody's leaning forward. We have a bunch of projects we want to have done by the end of the year, and the weather is so far cooperating. It is one of those that, if you've noticed, and it's been, and Melissa has posted our accomplishments in Sycamore Park. Things have been added. I was going to say we have received roughly about $42,000 worth of donations that go to that equipment. It is one of those, it's a pay as we go, but it is one of those, that money will always be used on parks, and as we will do more as we get more. The idea is, in a perfect world, at the end of 10 years, the balance is zero, because 10 years of doing things for quality of life with that part of the sales tax. We also, I was going to touch on what was brought up earlier, but this was a fantastic meeting, and I thank the Journal for attending. It is one of those, it was very impressive to not only the minds there, but the people and who they represented. It is one of those, this is actually getting bigger and bigger. It was already large, but there was several conversations that were with approaching the lieutenant governor and governor. It is all communities in Kansas seek funding, but who's going to seek funding the best and for the greatest cost? All agree when they started this and have been involved in it, and this is, we have people from Oklahoma, Army Corps, we have, of course, the state. We've got people coming from all over just to Coffeyville to hear what we need to do, and it is one of those that, yes, Rick Whitson and Thomas started this rolling. It is in our strategic plan that we address the levy, because it is something that it hasn't been addressed. We are addressing everything for, and it is one of those, the momentum that we have now is, which we explained to the group, that we will be going December 4th. All the federal government, state government, the senator offices and this have all committed to us getting in to see the right people when we go. So this is a working trip. It is one of those that is needed, and like I said earlier, this will be on an annual basis. It is our commitment, Coffeyville's, to the future. It is one of those, as you can imagine, we're talking tens of millions of dollars. And it's gotten even bigger with that, because I forgot what the new injection of, how many, was it million billions that were just shoved into programs that we're looking for. So it's going to involve several agencies in the state, and that's what talking to Alex with Senator Moran's office is that there's a matching fund requirement, and the city's not going to have 15 million. So it is one of those that will come, and that's what we're seeking from, is to get this and the state behind it, and we do have a cause to champion. So I'm very proud of that. I think it is for Coffeesville future, and to say that if you go to the east side, you're safe. So that is, wanted to bring that up. The other is I wanted to refer to the sales tax. I just want to sit there and say that, you know, one, the sales tax issue was successful. That is one of those we presented, the Public Works Director at that time. These are the streets. His information was furnished us of what we are going to do and what we are going to repair for the next 10 years. As you're aware that there is a local match requirement. It is, the city has to come up with that, be it 10 or 20%. It is one of those, if you do not have that funds, then you do not do the project. So it is something that you won't have to go to the taxpayers. I think everybody understood that. This is, and why not improve something when a third of the money is going to come from people that don't even live here? That is, as they pass through town and they buy things and do things, or even, and people didn't understand, is Walmart is within the city limits. We get sales tax from Walmart. So you can imagine how many people that live outside of Coffeeville that go shop at Walmart. So I really appreciate the community understanding that. I really appreciate that for Coffeesville future. This is the second sales tax that they approved to make Coffeeville what it should be. And we do have another sales tax issue coming up. It's in 2025, but you will address it in 2024. It is the, if you look at your sales tax report, if you look at that, we are now, it is, you have, and remember this is 2 months, 2 months behind. So what you're seeing is what we collected in September.
Right.
It's on a monthly issue, but what you're getting is what we collect in September, and we are very close to being 2 months ahead. I doubt that this will change that much, but I really do think this will be the third record-setting year in a row. It dipped, and if you look at, and you're aware, in 2017, we took a tremendous dip. In 18, it started recovery. 19, and it's consistently, and for the past, this will be the third year that each year we've set a record. And the only reason I point that out is you remember a third, with all the good that is being done, all the parks, all the housing, all these things that are being done, a third of it's by people that don't even live here. So I just wanted to point that out. If there's any questions by the commission, I'd be glad to answer those.
I don't have any. Thank you, Mark. Comments from commissioners and staff. I just want to say the chart you're referring to, the sales tax chart, is once again in the packet that's on the city website that I posted, and it's very interesting to see the fluctuation, how that has risen. Of course, a lot of it has to do with the internet sales tax that now has to be taken care of, but when you buy something on the internet, it's point of destination, so you can buy it out of state or whatever, but they have to pay the sales tax they collect to the state and the city. So that has helped a lot too. Also in there, I wish people would take a look at, there's police reports. Those are in there every month, and Hillcrest Golf report, and those are in there also. So anybody, take a look at those every once in a while. There's a wealth of information in there about what's going on. So I invite you to do that. Does anybody have anything else?
I just wanted to thank the crews that erected the Christmas tree the other day. So the Christmas tree's on the plaza.
We're getting good at that.
Yeah, that's really good. We did go down last night. They're decorating the Brown Mansion, getting ready for the candlelit tours down there. And if you've never taken advantage of going through that, do yourself a
And
favor.
that man in the back room's leading the charge to get the lights.
Yep.
I know there was some
Steve?
question about lights not being turned on.
Yeah.
That's the man that got up there. He's
Yeah.
making sure that our Christmas lights
Making sure we're
come
lit
on.
downtown for Christmas.
It
Yes.
is a tremendous asset for our city, and
Yes.
if you've never gone through and looked at all the Christmas trees, just do yourself a favor and do so. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just quickly, I just wanted to offer a congratulations to all those that were elected. Great job, and look forward to seeing what you do with the city. So.
Okay, all right. Anybody else have anything to say? No? Okay, so a holiday that will come up before we meet next time is Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I know city offices will be closed that Thursday and Friday. And we want to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving. A lot comes to mind during this time of year and what all that we as Coffeyville do have to be thankful for. We're a very unique city, and we have a lot of good people that want to do a lot of good things.
Absolutely.
And that's what keeps our town going. So
Well, in order to make this town successful, we need to work together.
that's correct. That's correct.
To be on the same page at all times and
That's
work
correct.
together.
That's right. That's what will make it work.
Yep.
So anyway, we want to wish everybody, the community, a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so now if we have anything, don't have anything further, I will move to recess to executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by the non-elected personnel matter exception to the Open Meetings Act as set forth in KSA 75-4319B1, to include the city commission to reconvene in the commission room at, let's say, by 8 p.m., if that's okay with you all. Okay.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor York, to recess to executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by the non-elected personnel matter exception to the Open Meetings Act as set forth in KSA 75-4319B1, to include the City Commission to reconvene in the Commission Room at 8 p.m. Vice Mayor York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Okay.
Please say so moved.
All right, we've returned from executive session, and as a result of that, no action will be taken. So now I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I think that was everyone.
Give it to
Motion is
Pam.
made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maples to adjourn. Can I see a show of hands?